First on this week, we'd been talking about this for a minute. NVIDIA finally did come out with their whole event for the new graphics cards, but that was the thing, is it wasn't even just the graphics cards. It was all these things.
Stuff.
It really did.
Yeah.
They really did. Me and Ditto were actually talking about this, I think yesterday off stream. NVIDIA also rolled out these different, I guess you could say, applications for multiple uses for creators. XSplit, if any of you know what XSplit is. If you don't know what it is, just again a quick summary. XSplit was an application that people used before OBS or Streamlabs, which is what we use for the stream, and you had to buy it. You had to buy a license for it. But with OBS being free, it kind of ran XSplit, and there was another competitor to it down. They've had a service throughout the years, and one of the big things was, hey, you guys don't have a green screen? Because, not everybody has a green screen. I don't have one. But it allows you to turn your background into a green screen without the need of an actual one. Well, guess what? NVIDIA announced that they're going to be doing the same thing for anyone that has an RTX card, which means 2000 series cards and 3000 series cards, you're going to be able to do that.
Pretty much just shuts XSplit down.
It does. It really does. They released information on 3 cards, which will then be released in the coming weeks, I should say, really. The 3080, which is the flagship card, 10 gigabytes of onboard VRAM. Higher version of that, which is the crazy over-the-top $1,500 card. By the way, I didn't mention this. The 3090, the BF GPU, which is going to be insane. 24 gigabytes of onboard VRAM, like I said. And then 3070, which is bringing it back down. $499, $500. For anybody that's looking to build a PC, $500 for a card that outdoes the 2080 Ti. That's insane.
Nuts.
I mean, personally, I'm sitting here going like, well, I'm probably not going to buy any of those cards. I don't have that kind of money, right? But the reason that this matters for you guys, right? Even if you're a console guy, you look at the dates that they're aiming for to release these cards. Even the 3070, I think the 3070 releases, October 28th, maybe, something like that. And you look at these, even if you play consoles, these are looking to compete with consoles, because these new gen consoles, they're aiming for 4K, 120 plus frame, or 120 FPS, plus gameplay and shit like that. And these cards, not exactly for every console gamer. I mean, a lot of console gamers, that's going to be way more than they even want. It also matters because it's going to drive prices of everything down. The 2000 series cards people have been selling 2080s and 2080 Ti's. 2080s for I've seen them for 350, 400. 2080 Ti's for 500. Stuff like that, $500, $400. It's ridiculous. And so you think about it, and because they always have, if you're not familiar with the cards, there's always a 60, 70, 80, and there's the Ti, or now the Supers editions between cards as well. This matters for all gamers just because, like I said, the 60s are always the mid-range card for most gamers. And if that comes out, that's just going to kind of throw everything out of whack. It's going to make everything even crazier than it already is. Remember, guys, what we talked about, what we talked about in the last episode. Was it last episode? We talked about the RAM and the SSD prices. Yeah, and that's diving already. I'm telling you guys, if you're looking to build, the end of this year is the time, 100%. But I would say still just, wait a little bit on putting your entire build together. And speaking about that, there's all these games that are also utilizing all of this new RTX, ray tracing technology to make everything look better. Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War.
Man.
They had the multiplayer reveal.
Unfortunately, it looks fucking beautiful. It looks beautiful. It's going to be 1,000 gigs, and nobody's going to be able to play it. But it's a beautiful game.
Anybody who plays Warzone, you got to be wondering, what's going to happen? Am I going to be able to keep playing Warzone? How am I going to be able to play Warzone if this new Call of Duty is coming out? Because they always, prior to this Call of Duty, they always had the same stuff, the same tradition set in stone of new game, drop the other game and act like it just doesn't exist, other than people that are pre-ordering and get the smallest bonus, I guess.
Yep. So Warzone, you'll be able to download it or update it, essentially, and it just updates into the new COD. They're making minor changes to the map, and it's going to slowly transition. It's going to be wild. We're going to get a bunch of new vehicles. We're getting all the new all the Cold War weapons. They brought wild cards back, so now you can have 8 attachments on a gun. I'm excited.
I like that. I think that's awesome, because it's don't you guys have such a successful thing going on with Warzone? Why just drop it? That's pretty awesome because, like I said, as somebody who's played Warzone, I was definitely like, oh man, what are you guys gonna do here? Like what's gonna go on? Are we just gonna move on to the next thing and drop this and not really care? But like they didn't, and I'm surprised. They're gonna be bringing so many things, I imagine, into Warzone that aren't in here. I mean, if you guys do play Warzone, you know this.
They want to tie Warzone and multiplayer together. So events that are happening in Warzone are gonna happen in multiplayer.
I didn't know that.
They also added a game mode.
It's called Dirty Bomb.
Essentially, it's your Warzone squad. It's 4 people. It's like set teams. It's kind of like a ground war scenario where you have multiple teams. And they're all fighting over objectives, and it kind of eases you into that Warzone playstyle.
Yeah.
Like subconsciously, that's cool, but that's like exclusively multiplayer, which also helps Warzone.
In that Dirty Bomb, like the screenshots and gameplay they had of that game mode, right? They had these like the buggies,
Dune buggies. You have like side by sides.
Yeah, and then on other maps, because we didn't just see that. We saw like so many locations. There's a map that's like just a giant ship in the North Atlantic. We've got even like 80s Miami here, like that. Well, that kind of Miami's. That's what we're.
Miami.
Yeah. So
Moscow. I'm hyped.
Yeah, and just so many locations. Angola. We're gonna be seeing so many different places, and there's gonna be like jet skis, and there's going to be snowmobiles, and just so many things for you to be able to have fun with. Honestly, and again, I talked to Ditto about this off stream. I feel like Battlefield. I feel like they went and they just ripped Battlefield's identity from them. So much time has passed and the game actually did it well that I feel like people just forgot about that. And in my opinion, Battlefield kind of has no identity left with where Call of Duty's gone.
I agree.
Just my opinion.
The only thing that Battlefield I think has going for it is the speed of the gameplay. Like it's a completely different pace. Because Call of Duty's an arcade shooter where Battlefield kind of feels like a sim in a way.
I really cannot wait to see what they have in store for the mixture of the two games with Warzone, coming into Cold War and vice versa. Cold War coming into to Warzone.
I think currently what they're doing right now in Warzone is there's a bunch of characters from the Black Ops franchise that you could go and talk to and like do these little weird missions.
So we got to remember, right, the guys who make, to keep things simple, the guys who make the Black Ops games and the guys who make the Modern Warfare type games, two different companies. And they typically do have things that, give an identity to each game in terms of mechanics that are different. But here's the thing, is a lot of people, what they have been wanting back, is what they kind of got with Modern Warfare, where the mechanics, the basic mechanics, no like super hopping, sidestepping, triple fucking sliding mechanics,
it's the simplicity of it all.
Right. And so that's another thing that I think they're doing right with this Call of Duty is that instead of trying to do what the Black Ops franchise kind of was doing with the ultimates for different characters, if you guys remember that, operators had ultimate abilities and all of that kind of stuff, they're removing all that just in place of the healing from like the classic healing of just, you get shot, but you stay away from someone for a while and you heal back up, you're good. And you go back into a gunfight. No more ultimate abilities, just keeping it simple, like you said, just keeping it simple. And I think that is the right direction to move in. With all the locations, like I said, in store, I cannot wait to see what's going on. In reference to all these different locations that we saw in the game, it really reminded me what kind of a situation we're in, what kind of a world we live in 2020,
2020
so many
has
things.
Been a very horrible year.
Yeah.
A lot of dumb stuff has happened. A lot of great things have happened.
And the thing is, we forget about it because, or I think it's easy to forget about it, at least.
Yeah.
Because, most of us still live in a place or live in a world where we're inside most of the time because of COVID right now. Because there's so many things going on. And so I feel like it's easy to forget just how screwed up the world is right now with how much of an attempt I think the average person, and I do not blame them, is probably making to forget how crappy the world is right now. There's a lot of things that are going on.
Earlier this year, California had a really like two really bad fires. A bunch of significant things have happened in news that kind of took the limelight, but California has been continuing to burn this entire time.
In 2020, the wildfires have burned at least 2.2 million acres, and that's more than any other year we have on record. Period. But there's entire towns that are just, they look like third world countries. Like, it's just ridiculous, you know? It's really, really, really ridiculous.
There's something like 40 or 50 fires that are happening like right now along the coast. Millions of acres gone, wildlife destroyed. It was straight out of like a zombie movie.
Yep.
It's crazy.
A crazy way to put this, when you think about it, is there are literally wildfires the size of Connecticut. That's ridiculous.
There is
horrible.
Like a Connecticut-sized fire in California. It blows my mind.
Actually, I saw a statistic. I saw a statistic that essentially told us every 30 minutes there has been a fire the size of Central Park going on. Listen, if 2012 would instead have been written down as 2020, I think most people would have believed it.
Oh, for sure.
I think most people would have believed it.
For sure. Yeah, if aliens touched down tomorrow and was like, we're taking over, it wouldn't even shock me. It would seem normal. If you search San Francisco, like the smoke coverage of San Francisco is blocking out the sun because it's very dense, and it created a perfect storm. All of San Francisco is just orange. You know,
it's mind blowing that it even happened in the first place. Because you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a link in the description below with the map that you can take a look at, and hopefully by the time you guys take a look at it, you know, it's not as bad as it is when we have. But you look at the left side of that map. You essentially cannot tell which state is which. It's just all blurred together in some massive fire. Listen, if you guys can, you know, whether you're watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, if you find anything that is an outreach or is an assistance to people going through that, and you can afford to, because I can totally understand not being able to, but if you can help them out some way, definitely worth it. If not, sharing it to other people, because it's horrible what's going on. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll make sure that we find a, you know, whether it be a donation or an organization, someone that is helping out, and you can check out the link if you would like to and help them out with whatever you can. But listen, world's not all sad. We as human beings bring a lot of beauty to this fucking rock. Not to say it doesn't have a lot of beauty on it already. And listen, we like to bring you some of that beauty every episode, and that's with, can I get a drum roll? I was watching Drumline, so I made it a little bit faster because I've been watching Drumline. Yeah. Slacker's Choice, guys. Slacker's Choice. Every week, we bring you some amazing stuff. All right.
The movie of the week is The Assistant. It's kind of like a thriller kind of drama movie. It was really, really good.
It 100% seems to really tackle a lot of the issues that people in general might face in the workplace. On top of that, another layer added onto that is the struggles that specifically a woman might face because of men that are in power that do a lot of horrible things, unfortunately. First thing though, it's not technically a movie of the week because you guys can't watch it yet, but we got the trailer for Dune, which... Dude. It was mind-blowing to me. Jason Momoa, we've got Batista, Zendaya. On YouTube, of course, links are always going to be in the description below, so check it out. Slacker's Choice links if you want to watch anything. Yeah, so there's so many people that are in this movie. The trailer looked amazing, action-packed, just visually beautiful. If you like sci-fi and fantasy themes being portrayed well or being done well visually, like with the effects, I think this is great. I think it's awesome. Yeah. Second of the actual Slacker's Choice video choices, I've been doing a lot of pizza studying. All right, this week. That's right. And listen, you get yourself the ingredients that you need. You know, some flour, the right flour, because it takes the right flour. All right, I'm gonna let you know. You need the right W rating, all right, for the flour to make pizza, okay? So you get your flour. If you got semolina, you got semolina. You got all the ingredients you need for your pizza. Sit down, watch you a video about how to make the best Neapolitan pizza dough, all right, with one of Sydney's best chefs. I think he's a pizza making champion, if I'm correct. If you want to make some pizza at home, this guy's the guy to watch, all right? Vincenzo's Plate, by the way, is the YouTube channel. Third on that list, POKELAWLS. He signed to TSM. It's a really funny video. They don't take it too seriously. Last on the Slacker's Choice, you know the Karate Kid. I mean, everybody should know the Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid. No offense, Jaden. All right, you're doing your thing. Not, but we're talking about the real Karate Kid. Okay, the actor sits down with Vanity Fair. And he breaks down his career from the Karate Kid to Cobra Kai, which if you guys haven't seen it, it's also a great show. I think it's getting picked up by Netflix. So if you guys want to watch it on Netflix, if you guys want to do that stuff, check it out.
Cobra Kai,
Pretty dope.
Cobra Kai, I think, is already on Netflix, right?
Oh, is it? Is it already on Netflix? I don't know. Yeah. Regardless, check it out. Do a little quick Google search, and you guys will see. Thank you for watching this episode of the Slackers Podcast. We appreciate the love as always. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Leave a like down below for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the bell for the notification squad. Join it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're watching the video on YouTube, you might as well check out our stream whenever it's happening. Thursdays, every other Thursday is a Slackers Podcast. Regular Thursdays, usually me just game streaming, and Mondays are me game streaming, playing some Fall Guys or whatever it is we got going on. So make sure you do that. Make sure you check it out. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Later, dogs.